So typically what happens is we expect that mortgage interest rates are going to encourage buyers. It's going to make people feel more confident. They can afford the payments. So they are going to bid on homes and they will have more wiggle room, more room in their budget. And that usually typically drives up home prices. But is that happening now? In case I haven't met you, hi, my name is Ingrid Menninga and I'm a Toronto real estate agent. And I would say in general, that is not happening now. And here's a backstory in a similar scenario. We have been hearing for many, many months that, lower interest rates really, it's going to encourage buyers to come back and they're going to be putting an offer on homes. But what is compounding the problem is really that we have a lot of question marks over too many areas of our lives and of our, national, international, and so on circumstances that people don't necessarily feel confident. When there is a lot of change, people usually just prefer to keep things as is in their life. And I think that's bearing out in the market right now. So some of those changes that we have a provincial election coming up. We have a federal election that's going to be called at some point, maybe in the spring, maybe the latest at the fall. We have tariffs coming from Donald Trump. We have a new leader in the U.S., which is causing a lot. He really knows how to get in the headlines and get in people's heads, right? Plus, we don't have a very strong economy. Let's call it what it is. In Canada, things are a little bit tight. We are having layoffs. We do have a lot of uncertainty. People's credit card debt, I am to understand, is higher than it has been in the past. All of that is combined to make people feel less confident in their purchasing choices, which means that people will usually prefer to keep things as is. There's so many changes that people need to react to in their lives with all those circumstances. A lot of people, unless they're one of the 7 categories of a home buyer or home seller that I covered in another video for you, but unless they're in one of those specific scenarios and they don't necessarily have to move, they won't. They'll try and keep it as is. Now, if they do decide to list their homes, what they'll do is they will list it for a price that they would hope to get. And if it doesn't sell, well, they just take it off the market and stay there, and they're okay with that, right? There is very little urgency on behalf of the sellers, and there's also very little urgency on behalf of the buyers. And what that means is that we have more listings, we have slower sales, we have soft prices. And unless something is really at a great discount, at a good price, or is really beautifully staged, looks really good, and is priced appropriately. Forget the pie in the sky dream prices. Once in a while, maybe that will happen when someone really falls in love with a property, but we're not seeing it in general. What we're really seeing is that buyers are starting to understand their power in these negotiations, and they're using it. And that is if there is a buyer, because a lot of homes, there are not buyers. I'm seeing in some areas where 60% of homes are not selling within the month they're listed. Sometimes 70% of homes are not listed. So that's what's happening in the market right now. Even though interest rates are down, it doesn't necessarily mean that buyers are coming out and that properties are selling. If you have specific questions about this, or if you'd like to discuss buying or selling your home, of course, get in touch with me. My name is Ingrid Menninga, and I'm a Toronto real estate agent, and you can find my details in the description box. I'll talk to you soon.